Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon, and thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Aja Goare. Shortly after joining the president's legal team, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani made a stunning admission. He says President Trump repaid $130,000 to Michael Cohen, his personal lawyer, who paid hush money to an adult film star. CBS's Angelica Alvarez reports.
Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani told Fox and Friends Thursday morning that President Trump reimbursed his personal lawyer, Michael Cohen, for the $130,000 payment he made to porn star Stormy Daniels.
He was definitely reimbursed. There's no doubt about it. Cohen made it go away. He did his job.
Giuliani says the payments to Cohen were made in $35,000 increments and were personal, not a campaign expense.
It isn't pocket change, but It's pretty close to it.
Daniels claims she had an extramarital affair with Mr. Trump. Her lawyer, Michael Avenatti, says the president may have violated campaign finance laws.
Because now we have a clear example of the president and Michael Cohen lying repeatedly to the American people, Gail, about this payment, about the arrangement.
A month ago, the president denied knowing anything about the payment. This morning, he fired off a series of tweets defending the arrangement Cohen made. Money from the campaign or campaign contributions played no role in this transaction.
The stories keep changing. With each passing week, more information comes out.
Daniel's lawyer says the only way to find out the truth is to depose the president. Angelica Alvarez, CBS News, the White House.
President Trump did confirm on Twitter today that his attorney was reimbursed but denied using money from his campaign. Meanwhile, an investigation underway in Savannah, Georgia, following a deadly cargo plane crash. The military aircraft was on its way to Arizona when it crashed near Savannah Hilton Head International Airport moments after takeoff. The plane was carrying members of the Puerto Rican Air National Guard. All 9 people on board were killed. Nearly 3 years after he went missing in 2015, the remains of a North Dakota doctor have finally been found in Gallatin County. The sheriff's office says the remains of Dr. Patrick Fitzpatrick were found Saturday about a mile away from where his vehicle was located. Authorities say Fitzpatrick's vehicle became stuck in a field south of Willow Creek on the 4th of July. Search and rescue crews looked for the doctor for 4 days to no avail. Finally, this past weekend, a bloodhound found Fitzgerald's remains on a rolling hillside. The sheriff says he hopes this brings the family peace.
But again, that family's wondering what happened and where is he? And for us to be able to find him and get him back to his family and allow them to have closure, that's about as much peace of mind as you can give a family that's lost somebody like that. So yeah, it's huge.
And foul play has been ruled out. The Stillwater County Sheriff's Office asking for your help to locate a missing Illinois man. 45-year-old Paul Batson has not been seen or heard from since his car was found Sunday in Reed Point. His disappearance is considered suspicious. Batson is 6 feet 2 inches tall and was driving a gray 2016 Dodge Charger. Anyone with information should contact law enforcement. After a day-long manhunt in Lincoln County for a man deemed dangerous and suicidal, authorities say the situation is resolved. Local newspaper The Western News reports the man is dead, but we have not received confirmation from the sheriff's office. Authorities issued a code red alert Wednesday for an area near Happy's Inn between McGinnis Meadows and the Flathead County line. No further details were released. We now know the name of the man who shot at 2 probation officers before engaging in a 2-hour standoff in downtown Billings. 60-year-old Michael Jeffrey Anderson was rushed to a hospital following Tuesday night's standoff. The extent of Anderson's injuries are not being released, but we are told he is in stable condition. The Montana Department of Justice expects charges to be filed against Anderson this week. Anderson is serving probation for 2 weapons convictions. The 2 probation officers who exchanged gunfire with Anderson are now on administrative leave. A pair of tourists had to be rescued from the Beartooth Pass after they ignored several road closure signs and got stuck. The Park County, Wyoming Sheriff's Office said on Facebook that a 60-year-old man from LA and his 85-year-old father from Indiana were rescued Tuesday. The men were trying to get to Yellowstone National Park and followed their GPS unit up the pass. However, the pass is not open yet due to snow-covered roads. Search and rescue located the men and brought them to safety. It's unclear if they were sighted. President Trump's super PAC is out with a new TV ad attacking Tester for his role in derailing the president's nominee to head the Veterans Affairs Department.
John Tester, disgraceful, dishonest.
The super PAC America First Action has purchased $344,000 of airtime across Montana. The ad accuses Tester of spreading false information about VA Secretary nominee Ronnie Jackson and calls Tester part of the D.C. swamp and accuses him of betraying our president. Trump has been attacking Tester since last week when Tester went public with allegations about Jackson's on-the-job conduct. Jackson eventually withdrew from consideration as VA Secretary. Tester is up for re-election this year, and President Trump vows to help defeat him. Tester's campaign tells MTN News it's the senator's job to ask tough questions about the VA, and he will continue fighting to fix the VA and bring better health care to veterans. An oil spill in Valley County is under investigation today. A farmer spotted the oil spill during a flyover Friday and reported it to the Fort Peck tribe. Officials estimate 600 barrels of oil and 90,000 barrels of production water were released from the well. The oil flowed about 200 yards downhill to a stock pond used for watering livestock. The extent of contamination of the stock pond is unknown. The owners of the well, Anadarko Minerals Incorporated, though, are drafting a cleanup plan. It's unclear when the spill happened, but the well was shut off back in December. In Flathead County, emergency managers are keeping a close eye on the river channels, but the danger of extreme flooding for now appears to be low. Flathead County emergency managers have received reports of small creeks rising rapidly with water creeping close to the banks, but very few creeks have flooded out. After the tremendous amount of snow we saw this winter, melting poses the threat of floods. The risk, though, is much greater towards late May and early June. We turn now to the weather scene with Ed McIntosh. And how's that precipitation looking here and nationwide?
You know, across our area, we're looking at about an equal chance of getting above or below normal precipitation. In fact, take a look at the national map as we look out towards next week. Drier than average conditions across the east. And you'll notice southern Montana, northern Wyoming trending a little bit drier. But a series of disturbances will at least keep the chance of hit and miss showers and thunderstorms going. What seems to be a surer bet is that these warmer temperatures will stick around. In fact, across the entire nation, next week looks to be trending warmer than normal, but particularly as we start looking through the Four Corners region and up through Montana, Wyoming, about a 60% chance of warmer than average temperatures. We'll take a look at the conditions when we come back.
Thanks, Ed. We'll check back in. The pick for Billings School District 2's top educator has decided to pass the job offer. Dr. Ross Kaysen, a New Jersey superintendent, opted out as SD2 superintendent due to unspecified events in his life. In a letter sent to the Board of Trustees, Kaysen informed the district that the timing was not right for him to make such a significant professional and personal change. We're told the negotiation process hadn't begun. Kaysen said he was impressed with the district staff and board. SD2 officials will now contact Helena Assistant Superintendent Greg Upham, another finalist for the job in Billings, to discuss his possible employment. Well, the deal is final. Missoula's Southgate Mall will soon be under new ownership. Southgate Mall Associates announced in February they'd reached a deal to sell the mall to Washington Prime Group for $58 million. Now, NKF Capital Markets says the transaction is final. Still ahead on the noon news, a kidnapping, standoff, and explosion in Connecticut leaves 9 police officers injured. Details when we come back. But first, Ed, how's our weather forecast? Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare, Storm Tracker weather with Ed McIntosh, and farm and ranch news from the Northern Egg Network. This is the noon news on Q2, Montana's news leader.